yes. Are you feeling really mellow right now? Because it's another episode of Squared Circle Breakdown, brought to you by the stylish tunes of Conway Twitty.
Is this how we're
like
opening every show now?
Is this a thing we do now?
Like every week I'm coming up with something new.
This is a thing we do now. Okay, whatever.
Come on. How are you doing?
I'm great.
You are interrupting.
Other than this country music screaming in my ear.
How are you bringing down Conway Twitty? Come on, this man is the soul of all country music.
Look.
You have no room to judge any of that.
Sir, I was just about to say sir, okay?
Mr. Yankee City Boy.
Listen, ma'am.
Am
I using the right
Yankee in the call.
Am I using the right pronouns? You like to be referred to as ma'am.
The right adjectives?
Okay, ma'am, alright? I may not know a whole lot about country music, but I know soul when I see
anything else, or anything at all about country music.
Listen, forget your Toby Keiths, forget your Johnny Cashes. Those are probably the only two other country singers I know.
I was about to say, name 5 country singers.
I was about to say, that's it.
Those two, Kid Rock maybe?
Nope, doesn't count.
Hey,
nope.
He does country right now, come on. He's doing...
Doesn't count,
I would like to point out that he picked the two most, Toby Keith and Johnny Cash.
Yeah?
Completely opposite of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's
but they are country.
Not even close.
You are correct. However,
you didn't specify it had to be one aisle of country music. You didn't say, oh, it's got to be this side. Forget about that side over there. It's got to be this side. You just said country. Okay, so I'm technically right.
He might as well have said Johnny Cash and Miranda Lambert.
Alright, how about the girl that did that song Picture with Kid Rock? Does that count? I don't fucking remember her name. Anyways.
No.
Taylor Swift. Okay, she's not really country.
No. She hasn't
Not
been country
anymore.
for the past 5 years.
Well, I mean, we all got to evolve and adapt, but she can't match up to the stylish tunes of Conway Twitty either. But
So if you guys didn't know, this is a wrestling podcast.
Yes, talking about country music, and
welcome to Squared Circle Breakdown.
Yes.
I am Senor Guapo.
I'm Kristen,
and I'm an asshole. So
yes.
Well, yes, that is all true.
Oh God, you've known me for 10 years. She can verify it. Her opinion matters. But yes, we got a pay-per-view.
Wait, Monoxide. First,
Oh, no.
I need to say one thing.
Oh no.
I need to wish you a happy Rusev Day.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happy Rusev Day, everyone.
Remember, there will be many more Happy Rusev Days to come. So
it's going to be a Rusev Day mania. I know that much.
Exactly. I have given up my my beliefs of celebrating Christmas every year because I have now converted to Rusev Day. I will now celebrate Rusev Day on December 25th.
I was about to say,
year.
you converted to Rastafarianism.
That was
that's kind of racist, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up.
See, man, this is why Daddy was put. That's why Daddy was put in office.
Look, I don't believe that was culturally appropriate there, Kristen.
Yeah.
It was not culturally sensitive, but it was a pun.
We have Elimination Chamber.
Great segue.
Yeah. Where, how do I describe this show?
Awful?
No,
Predictable?
that's not the word I was looking
Predictable?
for. I mean,
Status quo?
you mind if I, go on a mini rant, per se?
Go for it. Go
Okay.
for it.
This, again, I hate to disappoint you all, there's not going to be a mini swearing because I'm too old to be so fucking pissed. I love everything Vince does because he tells me to. Okay? Except, we all saw this, and I know we're going to go match by match by match, but let's just, address the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
The main event. You had 7 men. You had Roman Reigns win this match to become the number 1 contender to face Brock Lesnar again for the Universal title this time. Coach went on Twitter not too long ago, and he basically said that nobody is giving any valid reasons as to why they hate Roman Reigns. Now, I went on a Facebook post that posted that exact quote, and I'm not going to say the quote word for word, but I'm going to say my exact feelings. The guy, I don't know his real name, the Roman Reigns guy, performer even, is not what the fans are booing. It's what he represents, okay? He represents an idea that instead of you getting naturally, organically over and earning that spot to fill in that John Cena once held, we're going to pick and choose, and regardless if he gets over or not, we're just going to continually push him until the fans get too exhausted and don't give a shit anymore. Now, maybe I'm crazy, but they've done this before, except that they eventually knew when to just throw in the towel and say, look, we tried, it didn't work, let's go in a different direction. Now, it's obvious that Roman's not making the company any freaking money to warrant this push. You may say that this guy is a big merch seller, which I doubt, because every time any report comes out of top merch sellers or what merch is drawing, Roman Reigns never appears on that list. But I digress. Elimination Chamber sold 8,000 tickets days before this event, and they had to do a special buy one, get one free to sell this event. Okay? So, that's not to say that Roman Reigns is the reason why that there was only 8,000 tickets sold, but he's clearly not the answer to how you could get those tickets sold to begin with. So, back in 1997, we had an individual by the name of Dwayne Johnson. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this man, but...
Nope, never heard of him.
Dwayne
Who?
Johnson.
Dwayne who?
Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. Rocky Maivia.
One more time. Dwayne what?
The Rock Johnson.
Oh.
I may have heard of him vaguely. He was on, like, Good Morning America one day, right?
I just remember a movie called The Scorpion King. That was about it. But,
you mean, Be Cool?
Mm-hmm. So,
gotcha.
This motherfucker had the same exact problem. And what did they do? They turned him heel. And he became, eventually, one of the most iconic characters or wrestlers of all time. Okay? Now, somebody on a Facebook group page, I don't even remember his name, he's like one of the biggest Roman Reigns nut huggers. His response to anybody who says turning him heel, well, why would they turn him heel if their goal is to get him cheered? If they're going to turn him heel when they want him booed, the fans will cheer him if their goal is to get him booed. Well, motherfucker, that's their main goal in the first place. They want this guy cheered. You give him a heel run for a year, fans cheer him, fans organically like him, and off to the races you go. But they don't want to do it because Vince McMahon is too damn stubborn. Listen.
And if they want to, shoot, just look at the recent past with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was getting massive boos. He went heel. He did a great job as a heel, and then he naturally got over with the fans.
Well, and it stems from an issue that WWE has in general, which is that they have a very difficult time writing good faces. Their good guy characters are pretty bland and rely very heavily on whoever the heel is to get the fans to like this person.
I think
the problem is all the heels right now are pretty fantastic when it comes to WWE. So, yeah, and the fans like them.
The heels are over right now. I mean, just think about it. The people who are heel right now. Braun Strowman, he's like on the line of being heel face. It depends on who you ask.
But he's been a heel for a while, and then the fans liked him.
Correct. Elias, who wants to walk with Elias, got over on his own with that fucking gimmick.
Rusev,
Aiden English,
Kevin
because
Owens.
he's with Rusev. Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn as a heel. It's fucking amazing.
the Usos.
Usos are great. AJ when he's heel, he's great.
The New Day when they were heel.
New Day heel, great. Gals and Anderson
Chris
heel,
Jericho.
great. Jericho heel, always great.
WWE just has a weakness in writing face characters.
Again, never mind everything that was just said there. The point is that they want this guy to be universally cheered, and it's almost as if it's disturbing on how much they defend this guy and try to keep pushing him. All it's going to do is it's constantly to the fans that are already in on the con. You've already exposed that no matter who gets over, you're not going with them. I mean, put it this way. No matter how much wrong Roman Reigns does, he's always going to be protected. No matter how many times Daniel Bryan succeeded, you always were going to try and sabotage it. And that's the main problem. Now, to be fair, back in the day, during the territory days, you were a more successful promoter if you picked what was going to be on your show and what wasn't, and then you sell it to the public. That is true. Here's the problem, though. That's the territory days. The territory days are long fucking gone. We are now in an era where the fans are a lot more educated. They are very harder to sway, so you gotta play along to the fans. I mean, at some point, when something just gets naturally, organically over, what is wrong with just going with it? Why do you gotta sabotage it? Why do you gotta ruin it? A case in point. Remember years ago when Bad News Barrett was doing his gimmick and it started to get really over? And then they basically took that away from him and made him King Barrett and he was no longer entertaining? It was like, why did you take the one quality that made him somewhat cool and interesting and entertaining to watch and then put him with this gimmick? It's clear as day they want to control everything. It's like what Kurt Hawkins said in a shoot interview. They, instead of just jumping onto Facebook and Twitter when they started to really get popular, they created their own website called WWE Universe. Instead of having Instagram, they had Tout. It's like they want to own everything. They want to create everything. Everything's got to be their creation. And now you got XFL coming back. My point being is that there's an old saying, and I think I'm regurgitating this saying quite a bit. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and then expecting a different result. Do you honestly think that constantly pushing this guy for the last 3.5 years is going to spike ratings when they've been plummeting down since, and ticket sales have been going down since? Not saying that's his fault, but he's obviously not the answer to your problems. And then, as soon as somebody else comes along and gets over, and then you decide, well, they're not Roman Reigns, he can't be the guy, Roman's the guy, and then you punish him by having them job to Roman Reigns, a la Dean Ambrose. It's like, well, how is one to accept this product? The last guy you had that could compete with Brock was Braun Strowman. And what did you do tonight in this night? You had Braun Strowman pin 5 guys and then lose to Roman Reigns. So it makes me wonder what the fucking point of Braun Strowman dominating was. Oh yeah, that's right. So Roman Reigns could conquer him, because God forbid anybody gets more over than him. It's mind-boggling. I don't get it, but you know what? It's the greatest shit ever, because the fans are going to boo this out of the fucking building at WrestleMania. I'll be there dressed up as The Miz, and I'll probably troll a couple fans. And, yeah, that'll be it. So, fuck it.
On an upside, we'll get to leave WrestleMania early and get to our cars before the crowd.
But what if they swerve you and actually that's not the main event?
God, I hope not.
What if Nakamura and AJ is the main event?
That needs to be, because the only way that they can redeem themselves is if that's not the main event and AJ Nakamura is.
But then I can't get to my car early and beat the crowd.
But would you be sent home happy watching AJ and Nakamura?
Yes.
So then don't complain, okay? Just because you're going to be leaving a little later. I mean, come on. Daddy Vince is giving you what you want.
Sorry, I've been looking at pictures of Finn Balor to keep my blood pressure down.
Which one?
All of them.
Remember,
it's called Google, man. Just do a Google image search.
Well, I mean, I don't... Not that it really matters, but, like, I don't know if regular Balor, Demon Balor, or Pumpkin Face Balor arouses you, so I was...
Kristen, you know he's sticking it to Kathy Kelly, right?
I know.
That's right.
Good for her.
Good for her. I thought you were going to, like...
Good for him.
Yeah, damn straight. Kathy Kelly is very good looking. Not as gorgeous as Charlie Caruso, but... they're both gorgeous in their own right.
Or also Renee Young.
Renee Young, Dasha Fuentes is very nice.
And then there's always Bay, Alexa Bliss.
Yes. Alexa Bliss is very good, but I respect her work. Other than what I just said, what did you think of this Elimination Chamber show? I didn't really give my thoughts. What did you think?
I thought it was mostly bland. I mean, there were some good things here and there, but is this going to be one that I remember? I bet I don't remember it past WrestleMania.
Do you want to know what I thought about the Elimination Chamber?
What?
It should be deleted!
Which, by the way, being the asshole that I am, I purchased on WWE Shop. The evil fuckers, despite my rant earlier, they got some good sales. Buy one shirt, get the next one for $1. So I got myself...
That's what I did.
I got 4 t-shirts. I got Rusev Day. I've got Walk with Elias. I got Braun Strowman. I think it's the monster of all monsters, whatever it is. And
Monster Among Men.
Yes. And, of course, the Master of Deletion. I had to do it. I had to get that shirt. It's so great. But anyways, this show also...
Kristen's checked out.
Well, she won't check out now. I mean, after the... Well, I was going to start with the pre-show, because... Well, what did you think of this show?
It was okay.
See, the thing is, everybody's got to know that this is the month before WrestleMania, so they're not going to change plans unless something drastic happens. The only drastic thing that could happen is if this I don't know who this guy is, but apparently he's got evidence that shows that Roman Reigns is taking illegal steroids, per se. If that does come out, and it's proven, and it gets enough headwaves...
And it'll be swept under the rug again?
It depends. I mean, if this... It really does depend. Because that's serious. Because now he's purchasing illegal drugs.
I mean, we can only hope.
Go ahead. I mean, I don't want the guy to lose his job. That is the furthest thing I want. I want them to give me a reason to enjoy this guy if this is going to be their guy. They just don't even try. That's the problem. We had this pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber. I didn't think it was bad.
I didn't either. I thought it was fun.
It was exactly what it was. Do we want to talk about the pre-show?
I mean, it was what's called it was the club versus
it was the club versus the Miz Taraj.
Yeah.
I'm getting my information from BleacherReport.com, so if I quote stuff that sounds like BleacherReport.com, that's because it is. The notes here say we got cocky Curtis Axel flustered Carl Anderson early. Axel and Bo Dallas later pound on Anderson in their corner. Anderson charged in and left the Miz Taraj reeling briefly. Moments later, the Balor Club was able to land a magic killer to get the win. The Revival dismissed both Luke Gallows and Anderson and Anderson's tag team wrestling acumen in a backstage interview. So there were a chance of nerd at Axel.
Yep.
Fuck the Revival.
Fuck the Revival. Exactly. That's really it for the pre-show. So, but we opened up the show with the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's title. Alexa Bliss defending the title versus Bayley versus Mickie James versus Mandy Rose, a.k.a. Trish Stratus' long-lost daughter, versus Sasha Banks versus Sonya Deville. You know what? I'm going to hold my opinion. What did you guys think of the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber?
Predictable?
I'm talking about quality.
I thought it could have been a little more, but it wasn't bad.
I mean, for what it was good. However, I don't know. It was good, but I feel like they could have been better.
Why is the WWE so insistent on being progressive? Like,
because I spent the first couple years watching wrestling of nothing but no promos and 2-minute matches.
But we always harp back onto this one match.
I know what you mean by they're doing it not to be like, they're doing it to be progressive. They're not doing it because it's organic or anything. They're not doing it because it escalated to that point. They're doing it because they want the pat on the back of, look, see, we're giving the women an Elimination Chamber match, as opposed to having this big storyline and feud and whatever where it gets to the point of an Elimination Chamber or a cage match or, something like that.
Well, I see it as also just they actually have women willing and good enough to do these things now.
So let's just do all of them.
But here's the thing. I was there for 2 specific women's matches, both being NXT, obviously, that are highly regarded as some of the greatest matches they've had. One being the obvious one, Bayley and Sasha Banks from the first ever NXT in Brooklyn. That's highly regarded as great. And I'm not even a Sasha Banks fan. But that was a fantastic match. But that was because it was built organically, and I enjoyed the work that those two did. And on top of it, it was not an overly complicated feud. The other would be, I think it was NXT Brooklyn 3, Asuka versus Ember Moon. That match was fucking awesome. Now, to be fair, Asuka's fucking awesome. Ember Moon is very good. So it comes with territory. But that, too, had a storyline that warranted this match and the length that it had and the drama that it had, and it worked. But I'm not for saying, like what we just discussed, oh, well, we gotta have the first Royal Rumble match because we've never had a women's Royal Rumble match and we gotta be progressive for our audience. I just feel it's forcing the issue.
I know what you mean. It's progression for the sake of progression. Sake.
So, Alexa Bliss, I'm just going over the performers here. Alexa Bliss is probably the best female talker in the company.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, I'm just going to put a note here. Stephanie McMahon theoretically could be if she allowed comeuppance on her. Problem is she doesn't. So, Alexa Bliss takes the title. Bayley, not a great talker, but she don't have to be with the gimmick. Pretty good wrestler, I would say. Could be a much better connectable character if she was booked properly, but whatever. Mickie James, I love Mickie James. Really don't have much to say that hasn't already been said about Mickie James. Probably one of the best old school performers. Mandy Rose, there's potential, but I can't.
She's just kind of her and Sonya Deville right now are filling what I usually refer to as the mannequin role, the legacy Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr. role.
Right, and Sonya Deville has the MMA background, which, okay, fine.
But they're unique, but they're just mannequins right now.
At the moment they are.
They don't have much of a personality.
And they're not really much in-ring workers either, so. Sasha Banks, I can't say she's awful, because she's had good matches in the past, but goddamn is she one of the sloppiest of the good workers.
Sloppiest of the good workers? I don't think I've ever heard that kind of description before.
It's like she can have...
No, I totally get it. I understand what you're meaning, but it's just as soon as you said it, like it sounded weird, and then immediately made sense.
Okay, as long as I don't. But anyways, so you have this match. There wasn't really much violence to it. Like they tried to do some violence. But again, it goes back to the one thing you and I talked about. I'm not even sure if we said it on the podcast. I know we said this in private. But the fact that if you're going to allow these women to participate in these type of matches, you can't hinder them. Let them go all out. Unless they're the ones saying, we're not going to do that. I don't know. I'm not backstage.
If you're doing an elimination chamber, part of the chamber is, jumping off the pods and, like, getting raked against the sides and, like, all that stuff, using the chamber as a weapon kind of thing. And if you're just going to have a regular women's match, not that I'm saying this was, but if you're just going to have a regular women's match, but then also put a cage around it, it's just a regular women's match that just happens to have some sort of structure around it, then what was the point of the structure? If it doesn't add anything to the match, then why have it?
It's ridiculous, but the first one to get go ahead.
I'm all for progression, but progression without any meaning doesn't.
Progression with a purpose.
Progression with a purpose.
Right.
You don't just the best example I can think of is the first. I guess it was Sasha and Charlotte that had like a Hell in a Cell match.
Yep, that's right.
But their feud didn't really warrant that. Like Hell in a Cell is like the end all be all of like a feud. That's when you're like, clearly we can't contain these two people. They keep fighting. We have to end this cage match. Hell in a Cell.
Oh, to top off what you just said, I'm sorry to interrupt. To top off what you just said, that wasn't even their last match of their feud. Their last match was an Iron Man woman match. But go on.
Hell in a Cell should be an end of match type of scenario. So should Last Woman Standing. And they're just especially during that point, they were having the matches just to say that they had them, as opposed to the storyline warranting.
Well, after it was all said and done, Guapo's Bay had won the match, thankfully.
Yes.
It was the right call.
I believe so. I think her and Asuka will have a good match at Mania.
Bay cut a promo, which kind of came off very emotional. And I was like, oh, please tell me she's not trying to do this to progression. And then she just went full on heel. And this is why Alexa Bliss is probably one of the best in the company right now. She may not be the best worker, but as a character, she is, I would say, other than Trish Stratus, she is one of the few that has gotten me so pissed at a promo. And then 5, maybe 10 seconds after the promo is aired, I snap out of it, get back into reality, I'm like, holy shit, she really pissed me the fuck off. She's really good. Holy Christ. And I don't even think a man has done that, other than maybe Kurt Angle when I was younger. I used to hate Kurt Angle to death. But then I became that dreaded word. A smark. The smarks! I became a Cena hater. And then I kind of leveled down. And then Vince broke me completely. And now I love everything, despite my rant from earlier.
What you're saying is you became woken?
Okay! I need a kangaroo to train with. We had the Raw Tag Team titles. Cesaro and Sheamus defending against Titus Worldwide.
I'm not going to lie. I zoned out for this entire match, and I really didn't care.
So did I, because
it makes me mad when that happens, because I did too, and I like Apollo Crews, and I even kind of like this Titus Worldwide gimmick, and it's just like it's just there.
That's the problem.
It's there like how Crime Time was there. It's there. It's like it's an entertaining thing, but they don't do anything with it.
Is it really bad that I honestly cannot see what the hell WWE's plan is for a Raw tag team match for Mania?
I don't know.
Like there's nothing.
I mean, if you really think about it, let's look at the World Tag Team division. You got, obviously, Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar. You got Titus Worldwide, who have lost to Cesaro and Sheamus countless times, especially on Raw.
Now.
Twice, even on Raw. You've got the Revival, who seem to be feuding with the Club. The Club just faced who did they face again?
Miztourage.
Yeah, Miztourage, and Miztourage are just there to be.
It's not even really a tag team.
And if possible, if he comes back in time, Jeff Hardy, and then the woken brilliance of Matt Hardy and Brother Nero. But that's
I don't even see the Hardys getting back together, even whenever Jeff gets healthy again.
Well, they said he's supposed to come back as Brother Nero. They were legitimately going to pair him up with Matt, so that would be nice. But is that it for the Raw Tag Team division? Am I missing anybody?
No, that is literally it because Jason Jordan's hurt right now. So
yeah, and so is Dean Ambrose.
Slater and Rhino.
Yeah, and they're a job team. So there's really nothing for the Bar to do. It's really depressing. But regardless,
so Apollo, do we get what's called Authors of Pain shooting up to go for the titles at Mania?
No, they're gonna show up after Mania if they do show up. It's a shame because Titus O'Neil, good promo, Apollo, good wrestler. You would think they'd be a great fit for each other. Can I ask you something? What happened to Akira Tozawa? I thought he was a part of Titus Worldwide.
He got smartened up.
Apparently not, because now he's in obscurity.
Well, that's pretty much the entire Cruiserweight division.
Live. Actually, I hear that 205 Live is actually getting really good now.
That's because of good old Rockstar Spud.
I was about to say, I can't confirm that because that would mean I was watching it, but I hear that it's very good now.
That's impossible because that was the Enzo show, and anything with Enzo wrestling and Corey Graves commentating is gold, in my opinion. I mean, that was some great shit, and I missed that. Anyways, on to the next match. Asuka versus Nia Jax. I really don't know what the fuck they're doing with Nia Jax.
Well, they clearly want her to be a dominant beast, but they keep putting her up against Asuka, who they want to remain undefeated until a given time. Probably after she wins the title, they may start thinking about ending her undefeated streak. But so it's you don't want to put your monster heel who you're trying to make it this like women's wrestling destroying monster against the person you want to remain undefeated right now until it becomes like a big thing. Like maybe when Asuka is champion. Because we all know she's probably not going to lose before she gets the title. So any match that she has people trying to like end the streak is going to come out in her favor. So like it's going to be very predictable. And all you're doing is hurting Nia Jax. This doesn't help Asuka.
Well, not just that, but even with Asuka winning, she got destroyed at the end. She got her ass completely destroyed by Nia Jax, which makes you wonder. I mean, granted, it doesn't really hinder her in the eyes of the fans as far as her winning, but
I assume they were trying to do. Remember when John Cena technically won against Brock Lesnar, but he got the shit kicked out of him?
That sucked too. That was terrible.
Like that.
That was god awful.
I think they were trying to go for that.
And that didn't work either. That was terrible. It was like, wait. So, being a complete and dominant I'm not referring to Asuka and Nia Jax, because obviously Asuka won, but being an ass kicker, destroying somebody, busting them open hard away, is for losers, because Brock lost. I love logic. It's so fucking terrible. It's like, why? I love people who don't allow logic to get in the way of what they want to do. Because they're like, fuck that shit, we're going to go this way. That's how we determine it. And I guess they did it with Asuka and Nia. Because, you know what? Fuck Nia.
It was just a match that wasn't going to move Asuka up, and it was only going to hurt Nia Jax.
Fair enough. But we were saved. All of us. Because we've got Bray Wyatt versus the woken brilliance known as Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
The match started off really awesome. You had Bray Wyatt in the ring trying to attack Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy disappeared. So it's like Matt Hardy became a magician too.
And Matt Hardy came on the mic and said, "I will make you fade away and classify yourself as obsolete."
And the fans chanted along. So it's the only problem with this match is that the fans, after the match started, didn't give a shit, and they started playing with beach balls.
Yep. I don't understand WWE crowd sometimes.
What do you think of beach balls?
They deserve to be on a beach, not inside of an arena.
Do you feel as though if a fan, I'm just speaking hypothetically.
Of course, yes.
If you're a fan and you pay a ticket and you go to a show and you're bored out of your mind, that you have at that point the right to at least entertain yourself?
Yeah.
Just not with beach balls.
No. At that point, you start chanting for JBL or the ref or JoJo.
What's the difference in disrespect? If I'm looking at it, they're both equally disrespectful. You're not giving a shit what's going on. The only real major difference is if that beach ball actually lands in the ring. Not that, I mean, keep in mind, I've never heard of a story of a beach ball doing too much damage to somebody. I could be completely wrong.
I mean, Cesaro did jump in a crowd to grab the beach ball and destroy it.
That's right.
That one time, which was great because the crowd loved it.
No, it was wonderful! But
yes.
I really have a hard time because I kind of see where the fans are getting at. They're bored. But yes, sometimes it is a little excessive to be using.
Oh, sorry, I came back at bored and excessive.
Okay, so let me ask you the question then, since you were gone. How do you feel about beach balls at wrestling shows?
I think they deserve to be on a beach and not in the arena.
Okay, so you just said the same thing he said. So now, let me ask you this. Now, I'm going to follow it up with the next question. If you're a fan, forget beach balls. Don't even equate beach balls right now.
Okay.
Say you're a fan. You buy a ticket.
Okay.
You go to a show. And you are not entertained with what's going on in the product. Do you, at that point, have the right to try and entertain yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel
unless it gets an entertainer injured in some way?
Well, do you think a beach ball would get an entertainer injured?
I don't know. Maybe they get distracted.
Well, why would they pay attention to a beach ball?
I don't know.
They have a wrestler to protect, but
I was joking I was making a joke when I said I wasn't listening. Oh, I came back right at boring and excessive.
Well, I don't know. You said it in such a dry way.
That was the joke.
That ain't right. You know what? Fuck you.
You're a joke.
Yeah.
Which is why I made the beach ball comment, the exact same one that Guapo just made.
Well, it totally flew. At least it flew over my head. I can't speak for Guapo.
I just laughed because I thought it was funny.
At any rate, fuck all. But yeah.
In all honesty, I think the feud is a little boring now. I think it could have been interesting. I mean, I'm one, clearly, that doesn't really find the Woken gimmick that entertaining. That's
AK,
just
you're
me.
wrong.
And
that is because you have not yet seen the light of the seven deities. Yeah.
Can I just finish my point, please?
You
okay.
surrendered your point by saying that you don't like the gimmick. So
I don't like the gimmick. I think the gimmick is dumb.
So therefore,
I don't know if I don't know. Let me finish.
Okay.
Whatever. No, fuck it. I don't care.
No, go ahead. Make your point. We're done.
You can make your point.
My point is.
No, I'm joking.
All right, I'm done.
Joking.
No.
I'm joking.
No, I'm done. Just go on. I'm done.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Please make
done.
your point,
right.
Kristen.
I'm muting my mic. Here we go.
No, I'm done.
Please make your point.
Please make your point. I'm done.
Neither one of us will interrupt.
If we interrupt, I give you full permission to punch me in the face at Mania. Okay? Go ahead. All right then.
Did she leave the call? No, she's still here.
she's just not gonna make her point. Anyways,
I'm still here. I don't want to make my point anymore.
Please make your point.
Make your point.
The fans want your point.
The fans are dying for it. Don't be like CM Punk.
Look, if either one of us interrupt you, you do not have to wear Nikki Bella merch.
See, there you go. There's a good trade-off.
All right. My point is, I don't enjoy the Matt Hardy gimmick. It's not really my thing. Maybe I didn't see what all it was before it became what I've heard from other people to be the watered-down version that's here in WWE. But if they were going to do this Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy thing, which I felt their dynamics like went well together, they kind of just have been like, if they were going to push this, they needed to push it. Instead, they've relegated it to they'll have a match on Raw. There's no like storyline really. They just keep having matches and keep being like mysterious and kooky.
AKA every Bray Wyatt feud in existence.
Yes. It's like every Bray Wyatt feud in existence. It's like a less serious version of when Bray Wyatt was facing the Demon. It's like a less serious version of when Bray Wyatt was facing crazy lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose.
And the best part is we never even got a payoff to the... at least I don't recall there being a payoff to the Demon Bray Wyatt one, because Bray Wyatt got hit with some sort of flu or something.
Yes.
And, and this is just going to peter out. It's not going to end up being as good as the fans that love it could it be.
I give it to you. Yes, it's definitely not anywhere near as good as what it was. However, the hope I have for this, because they have full rights to everything with the Broken Brilliance and House Hardy. They have all the rights for it. I feel like they're going to give it that big stage for Mania and build it correctly, and after that, it's going to go full on Broken Brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, and I feel like they blew that because they could have done that with Bray Wyatt really well.
No. We're still going to get it with Bray.
I honestly do not see it with Bray, only because they don't know what the fuck to do with Bray, and anything that Bray touches becomes toxic. Not Bray personally, but...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Bray touches anything, it just becomes toxic. Not deliberately from the guy who portrays Bray Wyatt, but whenever they book Bray Wyatt, anybody who feuds with them does not end up any better. So...
And all with the Woken gimmick, I think my big problem is I don't like the idea of Woken. If they bought the rights to the Broken gimmick, they should have just called it Broken Matt Hardy.
That's nitpicking for me. I don't really care.
I know that's nitpicking, but to me it just sounds better.
The thing is, I think the reason why you don't like it is you're obviously seeing WWE's vision. The thing is...
That might be it.
The thing is, I mean, you probably won't even like TNA's vision, but the thing about TNA's vision was that the whole point of the gimmick is supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. It's not meant to be taken so seriously. You're supposed to be like, oh, that is stupid, that is goofy, that is corny. But the thing is, in TNA, they were taking it one step further. They were allowing this guy to film on his own goddamn compound in his house. His goddamn... I shouldn't say goddamn, excuse me.
His goddamn over the top.
His father-in-law was involved in this shit. His wife, his 2 sons were involved in this whole entire gimmick. Obviously, his brother. A kangaroo was involved. A little robot called Vanguard 1 was involved.
So if I'm understanding this, essentially WWE's version is watered down. It's supposed to be a gimmick where it's like supposed to be like crazy, wacky, over the top. Where you're like, what
really
the fuck? This guy's a fucking kangaroo in his promo. What the fuck is going on?
And he had the dilapidated boat.
And now it's just kind of like he's just a little weird.
I mean, he was always weird, but it was just...
He is the wacky uncle at the family reunion right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be, like, crazy, wacky, over the top, and now it's just, like, he's just a little weird. Like, they've toned it down so much that it's not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it needs to be...
Is what I'm gathering.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a little bit more than what it is right now, where it's just him talking to a goldfish that is now the vessel of Napoleon Bonaparte, and he plays chess. That's really it. That's the only real wacky thing he's done, other than the long drawn out. He needs to do more, but hopefully by the time Brother Nero returns, we will see that, and we will see the debut of Senor Benjamin, Rebby Sky, Lord
hopefully
Wolfgang,
it's a thing that just like
do not forget about King Maxwell.
King Maxwell, Lord Wolfgang, and all that. Yeah. Wow. I can't believe we've talked this long about Matt Hardy, because the next thing we got to talk about is, I don't even know how to describe this. It's the Ronda Rousey contract signing. So let me give you the basis of what happens here. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and Kurt Angle, they're out in the ring. They invite Ronda Rousey out to the ring. And this is part of why I can't really describe this, because the fans at first were very lukewarm to her being there. There was some cheers, there was some boos, some people were chanting for Ronda Rousey and all that. Ronda... If I assume this was a legitimate, like, from the heart promo, because she did a very good job of really showing how much it meant her to be there. So I'm going to assume that she really is happy to be there, and she's a huge WWE fan, because she was really choked up. She would look like she was about to cry. So good for her. She's getting to live her dream. But she's cutting this really awkward promo. To be fair, she's just talking about, it's a great thing, blah, 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 blah. And then, as soon as she's about to sign the contract, Kurt Angle is, like, talking to Triple H, and somehow Ronda spotted this and asked him if he had something to say. And to that, he basically just started squealing on Triple H and Stephanie, saying they were talking shit about how they own the bitch. And so, all of a sudden, Ronda's reaction turns into... I can't even describe it. Was it a robot? Was it a monster? I couldn't tell, but it was really menacing. So, she looked like she was about to really get going. Kurt Angle's leaving with Triple H. Triple H then, or excuse me, not Triple H, Kurt Angle then brings out that Stephanie McMahon would beat her in an MMA fight. Ronda Rousey, that is. Ronda really gets pissed. Looks like she's ready to beat the shit out of her. Triple H intervenes, tries to stop the whole thing. She then does what I presume to be a spine buster, a standing spine buster through the table on Triple H. And then...
She almost missed the table, actually.
And then Stephanie McMahon gets pissed, slaps her in the face, then she runs away. Ronda Rousey signs the contract. Now, I really... Because it also plays into the very next night. Because they did some stuff the next night where Ronda was in the ring and she basically demanded an apology from Steph. Steph cowered and apologized. This was the first time I ever saw Stephanie actually allow somebody to basically make her quiver in her boots. The only other time I ever saw that was with The Undertaker, but then again, everybody bows to the ultimate Undertaker. But now, I will say this is the right call, because Ronda Rousey is a real MMA fighter, and the only way that Ronda Rousey's ever going to really get over is if she's an ass kicker. But I don't know. That spine buster she did, the same thing when she did that arm drag to Triple H years back, it looks so phony. Like, I can only suspend my disbelief for so long until it just gets really, really phony to me. Like if Rey Mysterio bench pressed Big Show with ease. I know it's impossible, but it's just like, it's almost like you can clearly tell Triple H is leaping up in the air for her. Not to say that it wasn't cool, because obviously Ronda Rousey kicked some ass, which is what you want.
Steve, Monoxide, quick thing. You watched Raw last night, correct? Or 2 nights ago, correct?
Yes, I did.
Did you catch the very, very crappy punch that he did to Kurt?
I did.
Maybe it's just Tripp overselling a little bit.
Look. I don't know where this angle's no pun intended. I don't know where this angle's going, per se.
I think we knew where this angle's going.
The main, get ready for it, point that they're going for is Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Yes.
So that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. It's going to be virtually The Miz and Maurice versus John Cena and Nikki Bella from last year type of match. However,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. You need to have one of those on WrestleMania. That's fine.
But, you know, as people that when Ronda Rousey showed up at WrestleMania and everybody's like, oh, holy shit, we should be more excited about Ronda Rousey being in WWE.
Now, here's a bigger question. Hey, Guapo, are you playing with your mic?
No, sorry, I was moving around.
Gotcha. Do you think her being defeated in MMA has anything to do with her lost momentum? She was super over WrestleMania 31.
I think that
Sorry, let Guapo go.
I think after the first loss, it wasn't too bad. After that second loss, I feel like it really hurt her like momentum of like being like a massive like in the spotlight person. Just because, I mean, she went from being this complete badass, nobody can fuck with her, nobody can beat her. She is the world's toughest woman, stuff like that shit. To okay, she got her ass kicked in a matter of minutes. Or no.
No, in Nunez it was less than a minute.
No, I'm talking about the first one.
Well, that was a 2-round fight.
Yeah, 2 round. But Nunez, she lost like first round.
First round, less than a minute. But
exactly.
Not only that, the way she handled the first loss, she disappeared from the limelight with the exception of doing one show on Ellen DeGeneres where she said she was going to go kill herself, which I don't want to belittle somebody going through suicide. That's a serious thing. But really, of all the things to go suicidal over, your first loss, I understand it's depressing. That sucks. But to be suicidal, I don't know. That's something I don't toy with. That's really like, that's something reserved for something even worse, like a death of somebody that you knew close at heart, or if you've got a mental disorder or something like that.
Well, people deal with things differently.
That was, to me, that really didn't set right. And then she did accept another fight, which she got her ass kicked. And again, she refused to do any sort of publicity for that fight. And then she did WWE. I mean, look, if WWE is where she wants to be, good for her. I'm going to say that because be where you want to be. Be in a place where it's going to make you happy. If WWE's going to make you happy, make you happy. Is she getting the benefit of the doubt? I don't know. We'll find out at WrestleMania, see how well she works. The one thing she's got going for her is she's athletic, so she may learn.
Well, and like Stephen Amell, I think she really likes WWE. I think she really likes the industry and everything. So I very much believe that she'll work really hard at it. Right. I don't think she's going to be one of these that comes in as just doing it just to promote themselves kind of thing. I think she's truly a fan, and I think that will contribute into her work ethic, into her training ethic.
Even though Stephen Amell is now part of the Bullet Club.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because he's friends with Cody. But we'll see. We'll see how she does. I'm assuming she's not going to wrestle until Mania, so the microscope's going to be really on her. See how well she performs. Hopefully, she does well. I do not want to.
She needs to work on her mic skills a little bit, but
well,
other
yeah,
than that,
it's still a new stage. I'll let that go. She's obviously still flustered, but
yes.
I want her to succeed. I do not wish to see her fail, because these past two shows, despite my criticisms, I've quite enjoyed them. So, I want, the supposed goal is to make Ronda Rousey the quote-unquote Steve Austin of the women's division, and Stephanie would be the Vince McMahon, where she would get the butt end of all the jokes or beatdowns of Ronda Rousey.
That's a big role to fill.
Yeah, and I guess those would be the proper guys, as long as Stephanie doesn't always get the upper hand every week. She can get it here and there. Nothing wrong with that, but not every week like she does with everybody else. But we end the Chamber pay-per-view with the Men's Chamber. Braun Strowman versus Elias versus Finn Balor versus John Cena versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Dumbass! What... I know.
I enjoyed the whole match until the last 2 minutes.
That's pretty much the.
I think that's what mostly everybody.
That's the consensus. Yeah, that's normal.
Because it was a really good chamber, honestly.
Yeah, and I think if Strowman would have won, he would have really.
Oh God, yes.
But
the pop would have been amazing if he would have won.
I think if anybody other than Roman would have won. I think, I don't think people would have been happy with John Cena winning, but I think they would have not.
If it ended up being
reacted as badly.
If it would have ended up being the end of Cena and Reigns, I would take Cena.
I'm saying, if it would have ended up being Cena and Roman Reigns, Cena would have been cheered if he had eliminated Roman.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would have been the wrong direction. Because I know we're all not fans of Roman Reigns. I don't really hate him. I am getting kind of sick of seeing him, so I could see myself in a couple more, in like another year of this bullshit, being like, all right, I fucking hate him now. But I think had they done last two people, Cena and Roman Reigns, I think it would have not sent a very good message. We're trying to move towards newer talent.
Well, it still doesn't really send a good message because, let me explain why.
It's still him, Roman winning. I'm just saying if it came down to John Cena and Roman Reigns.
I understand what you're saying, but
yeah.
the message they sent here, this is supposedly what I've read from sources, because this is what doesn't make sense. After the match, after Braun had eliminated pretty much everybody and Roman won, the only reason that Braun Strowman beat him up, they're not going to have Braun Strowman as a backup or add him in a triple threat. He only did that just so they would send the fans home happy. And it just got me scratching my head saying, well, if you wanted to send the fans home happy, why didn't you just have Braun win? Like, If your goal is to make the fans happy and send them home happy, why not just have Braun win?
Yes, if your goal is to send the fans home happy, why are you giving it to this guy that the fans aren't behind?
Like people are at least behind Strowman. They like this guy. I like this guy. This guy's fucking awesome. I mean, the shit that they have done with him, when he first started squashing jobbers, I'm telling you right now, you guys weren't in the calls, but I literally was in tears laughing when he would squash people. It was the funniest shit ever. I will get in a call, and you can. I'll let her explain to you how much I was in tears when he would destroy somebody. It was great. And then they went. I mean, his booking's over the top. He's lifting up fucking trailers and throwing down steel ramps and all that. But god damn it, it's great. It's entertaining. He's not as versatile as Roman is in the ring, but goddamn, what he does, he makes up for it. As long as he destroys shit and is the Incredible Hulk of the WWE, fuck it. Let him destroy shit. He's great. The fact of the matter is, he's over. He's massively over. Why?
A man who screams, "I'm not finished with you yet," and get these hands, and it's just a big dumbass country dude. Is great.
Right.
Why not push it?
Exactly.
You know?
Same thing with, I mean, look at Elias here. I understand the gimmick's not made for a world title. Maybe an Intercontinental title.
I can see him as IC.
Hey,
Definitely.
Definitely Intercontinental Champion. But yet he was, like, destroyed in this match. Like, didn't even do anything worthwhile.
They should have let him have his guitar inside the chamber cell.
I'm going to agree with the internet consensus. I think it's a little bit hypocritical that we gave Batista so much shit for wearing blue, but yet we're not going to say a blessed thing about Finn Balor. I think it's quite hypocritical.
Hey, you leave Finn Balor out of this.
Hey,
he did look like a blueberry. Yeah.
He looked like a goddamn blueberry out there.
Yeah, but he's hot, so it's fine.
Finn Bluler or some shit. I don't know.
No,
Finn Bluler, yes.
Finn Bluler.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily.
As Blutista. Come on, Finn Bluler. That's him. And can I ask you something? Since you're the Finn Balor mark, maybe you've researched Finn Balor way more than I have. Is there a reason he's smiling all of a sudden all the time now?
He's just really happy to be there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then, wait, does that mean the demon is dead? Because, like, now he's just so happy you don't have to, like, break out the demon?
No, he's happy because he's finally getting more people to add to his club.
Well, and I think he's enjoying getting to be in a gimmick with his with his two buddies. And, I think they're just having a good time. I think he would like to be further along than what he is. I think his injury when he won the Universal title set him back a lot. Because they haven't really done a whole lot with him since then.
Yeah, and you said his two buddies. You mean Demon Balor and Pumpkin Face Balor? That's all that Balor Club has.
I mean Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
No, they're just entertaining the idea he has a club. I mean, they're just like, it's like that Rugrats theory
they're like sure, buddy.
Yeah, it's like the Rugrats theory. The Rugrats theory goes is that Angelica's like the only real Rugrat. Tommy was like...
The rest of them aren't real. They're all in her imagination.
Yeah, Tommy's a stillborn. Chucky died when his mother was giving birth. Phil and Lil's mom had an abortion. And Dill was probably the only other real Rugrat that Angelica thought was in her mind. And she hit him in the head, and that's why he acted all weird and all grown up. And Susie just kind of entertained the idea that they were Rugrats. Anyways, enough of the Nickelodeon shows. I don't know. I was enjoying this like everybody else. I still am going to hold over Finn Balor's head that he's wearing blue.
Yeah, he does it every once in a while. Like, he did red for, like, a hot minute. It's only, like, for pay-per-views.
Are you sure it was red? I thought it was maroon.
It was maroon-ish. And he's done, like, gray before. He hasn't
black as well.
Do the face paint. He hasn't gotten to do the face paint in a while, so he just changes up his attire, I guess.
He hasn't done the demon shit since his feud with Ray.
Yeah.
Did he wear demon paint when he faced AJ Styles as a replacement? I don't recall.
Yes.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really did.
He still did the demon thing.
I'm gonna have to rewatch them. I remember it being really good, but
Yeah, he did because it was supposed to be him versus Bray.
Yeah,
but because it was
him as his sister Abigail.
Yes.
Oh god. Yeah.
But because it was like last minute change, he already had like the makeup people booked, so you're not gonna tell him no, don't come.
Okay. Well, that was Elimination Chamber. And
that was the thing.
I don't know what to say about this show other than that it was what it was.
I bet you can't wait to get down to New Orleans to see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, damn straight! I'm gonna be the instigator in my crowd. Like, again, as I said, I'm the troll at this point. Like, I was a troll.
Let's just say I'm happy I'm not sitting next to you because I'd probably super kick you.
Oh God! Now I wish you were sitting next to me. I would be that asshole. I would be like, come on, everybody, the big dog's in town. This is his yard now.
All right, you've graduated from super kick to package pile driver.
Oh, I'm gonna earn the title of getting thrown off the stage. That's what I'm aiming for. I want to be thrown off the stage. Oh boy, so that was.
So you're gonna. Nope, never mind. I was gonna make a very bad joke, but I decided not to.
Can't be any worse than Finn Balor. That was pretty bad. I'll see myself.
No, it was pretty bad.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll tell you off air.
Okay, so that was the Elimination Chamber, ladies and gentlemen. We need a pay-per-view to review, a bad one.
A bad one. All right, let's see.
Go for it.
No, we already decided.
Which one was it again?
ECW, December to Dismember.
Ah, yes, that was a great choice. We should definitely do at one point. Was it a pay-per-view when Goldust debuted in WCW at 7, or was that a Nitro?
I want to say it was a Nitro.
Oh my god, I gotta watch that. I just remember the vignettes where he's staring at a child like a fucking pedophile. It was so bad. It was so fucking bad. WCW in the late 90s, ladies and gentlemen. That's my childhood right there. Anyways, that's the Chamber. And we don't have much else other than that next show. We will review ECW December to Dismember 2006.
We were way more lively this episode than last one.
Well, yeah, because that's what happens when you actually rest after you've gotten from work.
Yeah, yes. Guapo.
Look, after next week, it won't be next week's episode, but the week after that week, I will be back on my normal schedule, so.
Good. Because you know the point of the show is to troll her, right? Because I need your assistance. That's right.
Well, of course.
That's right. Anyways, that's it. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, stock up on your discography of Conway Twitty, and remember to stay woken.
Also check us out on our website.
Oh, yes, www.unpopularunion.com. Join us and like our page, www.facebook.com/squared-circle-breakdown.
Also, if you see us walking around, if you see 3 people walking around Mania with Squared Circle Breakdown shirts, that's us.
That's us. You got a girl, a big dude, and somebody who's very, very skinny.
And Steve.
Yeah.
And Monoxide.
That guy. Yeah.
I just remember that because the last time WrestleMania was in New Orleans, a couple of us, not Guapo, went to the Hall of Fame.
Oh boy.
And we decided we're all gonna dress up. We're gonna because all the wrestlers dress up, so we're gonna dress up like nice. And so like our buddy Brett wore a suit. Our friend Alex wore a suit. Me and Deidre were, dressed up and put dresses on and stuff. And then Steve just had a button-down shirt, or Monoxide just had a button-down shirt. And we were talking about it later, and our friend Alex was like, "Yeah, the girls look nice," and me and Brett were in suits, and Monoxide was there.
That's not even the best part.
I'm like, you don't even I'm like, I had to explain to him. I'm like, you don't understand. That is dressed up for Monoxide. Like, that is he wore a shirt with buttons on it.
Yes, I discovered what a button was.
And it wasn't Paisley.
That was the first ever time I discovered what a button was. Never seen a button in my life unless it was on a game controller. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's one personal story that you can now share with your family, friends, and your kids when you tuck them to bed at night. So, see you next episode. I think that'll be episode 7.
Bye, guys.
It'll be episode 17 next episode. This was 6
episode 17 episodes.
Woohoo! We're still going. We're still trucking along.
We should do something crazy for 20.
Mania?
Yeah.
It'll be before Mania. Before Mania.
We got to do a video. For sure.
All right, Monoxide's trying to steer us off.
Anyways, later.